by producing architectural engineers that know a little bit. They go through one design class. We teach the design process, not necessarily good design, just so they know how to talk to you guys. But they understand the importance of the aesthetics. They understand the mechanical system. They understand the structural system. They study a little bit of construction management. So that architectural engineers are uniquely suited to be project managers because they understand a larger breadth. They understand a holistic approach to building construction. And it's the same thing that they try to instill in architects. They have you study environmental systems. They have you study structures. They have you study design. But still, this is just taking it up to the next level a little bit and giving you construction management expertise a little bit. And then prior to 2007, if you look at America's total building stock, only 2 to 5% was new construction. So that means we've pretty much built the United States. 10 years, you may increase from the 2007 calculations, we would increase the building stock by 20%. Since the crash of the stock market and all the downturn that we had a few years ago, it's estimated that this 2 to 5% has fallen to 1 to 2%. So that means in the next 50 years, we may double our building space, we may only increase it by 50%. But most of the building stock, there's a good bet that it's already there, and even if it does change, we've got to do something with it. So that's where my most recent work on academia is to put together an undergraduate certificate in facility management. I just learned last Friday that the certificate is not just going to be printed on a piece of paper at the College of Engineering. It's actually going to be sanctioned by the university. It will show up on your transcript. But it's an extra 4 courses that will deal with working with businesses, businessmen working with engineers, and the people that are going through PhDs in education that are going to be superintendents in school districts. It's to help them understand that a facility manager should not be a big title for a maintenance guy. He shouldn't just be the maintenance guy. He should he should be the representative of the organization. So when it's time to build a new building, Valero, we'll choose Valero, has lots of buildings all over the place. When they determine it's time to build a new building, it's not a guy with a business degree that's meeting with the architects. There's somebody that has some engineering training and some architectural training representing the organization, meeting with the architects. He probably isn't the only one there. I'm sure the president of the company is there as well. But he has an assistant there that he knows really does have his business, his organization's best interest at heart. It's not somebody that he's just hired temporarily. So then we get into the operations and management. This is where it turns crazy. Because architects and engineers are happy to work with planning, design, and construction. But then we have operation and management. That's the facility manager. He starts taking over. Generally, it's been engineers or architects that have become facility managers. We're arguing that architectural engineers would do even better. If somebody backs into a column, an architectural engineer can decide it's either cosmetic or it is a structural problem that has to be taken care of. Right now, if it's a structural engineer taking care of it, or a mechanical engineer taking care of it, he knows nothing about it, and he has to assume that it's a big emergency, and he has to call his structural team because he doesn't know any better. So we're trying to at least give a little bit of jack of all trades to the engineering field. And then finally, there's assessment. When the building has been used, it may have a life of 20 or 50 years. When is it time to give a major overhaul to the building? When is it time to say, okay, this building's had its useful life, let's bulldoze it and build another one? Who makes those decisions? Who advises the organizations on that? And we would like to say it's the facility manager. And if you take the project life cycle and look at it in a matter of time, we have the next slide. That's the life cycle of the building. The planning, design, construction is almost nothing in comparison to the operations and management of the building in the life cycle. The building is the second largest expense of any company, right after employees. So if it's that much of an investment in the company, and that even that little investment is up there, or assessment is up there in the corner too, it's just, we feel that it's a very important aspect. Texas A&M, who has graduate certificates. I'm also, as well as finishing the coursework for historic preservation, I've finished the coursework for a certificate in facility management. They're actually coming up with a minor in facility management. I think your professors would agree that no matter how good an architect you are, if you don't know the basics of accounting and the basics of economics, you are severely handicapped when you own your own business. Because if you can't keep track of your money, no matter how good you are as an architect or an engineer, you're going to go bankrupt as a business owner. And your business will fail. Your designs may be wonderful and spoken about forever and ever, but that doesn't feed your family. So even if you don't become a facility manager, what we're doing is we're requiring our engineers to take a couple of business courses. We're also requiring these educational students and the business students that want to get a facility management certificate to take a couple of engineering courses. So just like I'm training my engineers to understand the importance of an architect, the facility management program is trying to train business people that when they're CEOs, what the importance of a true modern facility manager would be and the value they will be to the organization. And that's what I've been doing. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. We'd love to have you come down and consider Texas A&M Kingsville.
You have a SAC student right now.
Yes, we do.
Correct?
Yes, we do. And he's doing very well. He's waiting, as a matter of fact. If you have questions, Mr. Escamilla is on our board of advisors for the architectural engineering program. And he knows that Mr. Escamilla is going to be down there in a few days. And he's waiting rather impatiently to visit with him. But the students that come from SAC do very, very well. One of the reasons that I left UTSA when they were having their arguments with the accreditation board was they said, why are you even bothering? Y'all teach first and second year students so poorly. And you have San Antonio College, which is one of the best 3 schools in architecture in the United States for the freshman and sophomore year. Why do you even bother to teach your own? So just take them all out of SAC. And they didn't like that. They got into some more arguments. And that's why I went to the University of Houston. But have a great resource here. And that's, I have to take everything here, graduate from here, get your certificate. The other thing is you need your certificate here because it says that you've graduated. Because if you don't, whatever school you're going to go to, they're going to say, you haven't finished your core curriculum required by the state of Texas. And then they can make you take almost anything. They can make you take more English, more history, more political science. You've got to, if the certificate says you finished all that stuff at SAC, they can't tell you anything. You're done.
That's a great point.
And it's also a way for you to support your school, San Antonio College, because San Antonio College gets their funding based on the number of people that graduate with their certificates. They don't just leave after 2 or 3 courses. So if you want to help, out, and if you want to show your appreciation for San Antonio College, stay and get that stamped on your curriculum because it's real important. Yes?
You were mentioning that you can get a bachelor's in architectural engineering and then apply for a master's program and have a master's in architecture.
Yes.
Can you give a little bit more information about that?
Okay, this is what really got me upset. Because you can get a professional degree in architecture is 5 years in the state of Texas. And then you go and get a 1.5 or a 2-year master's degree. So that's 6.5 or 7 years. Sounds fair on the math. You can get a professional degree in engineering in 4 years, and it's 2 or 3 years, depending upon whether or not you go fast track through your architectural master's. So then it's still 6 or 7 years to get your degree as a master's degree. But you'll have 2 professional degrees. You'll have an engineering degree and a master's degree. So It's the same amount of time. Engineers pay way more money. Architects get to have all the fun going to art openings and wine tastings and stuff like that. Engineers predominantly don't do well with people. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Dilbert cartoon, look it up, The Knack. And it's got a mother and Dilbert brings her son into the doctor, having all these emotional problems, and the son's over there fixing the electrocardiograph machine. And they look over and the doctor says, well, that hasn't worked in 10 years. He says, your son obviously has the knack. And she says, well, what's that? He says, well, it's an affinity to all things electrical, mechanical, and structural. And she says, oh my God, is he going to ever live a normal life? He says, oh, he's going to be an engineer. Right. If you are an engineer that can talk to people, engineers don't know how to get in front of people and present. The presentation skills that you learn here, no engineer from any college, other than architectural engineers, with a little bit of architectural studies, they've never presented in front of people before. They don't know how to sell themselves or their products. So it's generally the architect who goes to the wine tasting, he invests the time meeting people, he hangs around with all the cool people, he gets to wear the black turtleneck and the jacket, no tie. He sells the job, and when he gets the job, he calls up his best buddy, the engineer, who's got a pocket protector, a little skinny tie, doesn't really wear a jacket, and his shirt's half untucked. And says, I never, please never be in front of my clients because we lose the job. But he's the one that hires the engineer. Engineers need architects.
So it'd be cool if you built it.
Yeah, it would. I honestly believe, in my opinion, that the future gods walking on the planet are the people that are both the engineer and architects. And you can look at Calatrava as an example.